How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to uncover the truth about expanding into your positive energy. If you've been stuck, if you've been trying to make a change, but you haven't been able to do it, this is the episode for you. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And you can take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive state. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been charging you up, everything that's been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Well, before we get started, if there's something that you enjoy or take away from this episode, if you're on YouTube or Spotify, you can actually leave a comment below. Not only does that help me know what resonated with you, but somebody else might read your comment and might inspire them to give this episode a shot. This is going to be the #1 mindset podcast in the world, and the best way to do it is together. So whether you leave a positive comment or share this with somebody, it means the absolute world to me, and I could never thank you enough. But let's go ahead and dive into this message. So are you ready to make a shift? Have you tried? Have you failed? Have you given up and you're just not sure what to do? It's so hard. It's so difficult to become something. A while ago, and this is maybe months and months ago, maybe even last year, I talked about creating a week of obsession, meaning you set the version of yourself that you're going to be, and for 1 week, you obsess over it. You obsess over the needs, the actions, the thoughts, and then you do them again and again. But I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. You see, as you grow, as you look into things, as you expand, as you start to understand, your perspective changes. And so although I love the obsessive, meaning I'm branding this stuff in my mind over and over again, I want to talk about the week of greatness. This is you operating as your higher self for a whole week. And this is why it's so great. You see, who you are is what you do when you're not motivated. Who you are is what you think when you're not inspired, when you're not being guided, when things get tough, when your stress is high, when the anxiety kicks in. That is your true self. It's not good or bad, meaning if you're struggling with depression, anxiety, or you can't move, you can't focus, that you're a bad person, and that if you healed all of those things and were able to operate in the world free of stress, free of all those things, that you'd be good. No. You're amazing and loving as you are. You are wonderfully made. There is nothing wrong with you. In fact, where you're coming from and where you're going to go is the gift, because of who you become on the other side can only be without the struggles. Because you're going to use love, forgiveness, growth, all of these things to go across to the other side. And then you're going to have that to offer, because the love will be built upon the opposite of that pain, of that trauma. So there is purpose to what you're going through. There is purpose to your current state. We just have to decide to be the new version of ourselves. There won't be motivation always. There won't be a podcast always. There won't be a mindset coach always. There won't be all these things always. There will always be you and the choice you decide to make. You have to get it out of your head that the choice is fair. You can't look at somebody else and say, well, it's so easy for them. They got better genetics. They have better parents. They have a better situation. They have this, that, and the other. That doesn't serve you, even if it's true. What serves you is ultimately saying, I have to choose who I want to be. What happens is when you start acting in alignment with that choice, no matter what, without fail, with the mindset of I'm making this choice and being this person or I am dead, meaning I am doing this till the point I am no longer here on this earth. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what other people think. I am going to be this version of myself. When you make that commitment and you stay with it, what happens is your vibration starts to change. You start to go into a different frequency because you're manually shifting your vibrational state. The faster you vibrate, the more you rise. And so when you start thinking a certain way by choice, meaning the negative thoughts come in and you say, wait, I'm going to force positive thoughts in my mind. And you start putting those in, meaning you made a mistake. Oh, I'm terrible. I always make mistakes. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm an awful person. Nobody likes me. Nobody loves me. When that track starts going, you stop it and you say, these thoughts don't serve me. I am wonderful. I am powerful. I am here with purpose. Every obstacle, every failure is for me because I'm constantly expanding. This is a good thing because I can find the good in anything. When you shift your mindset to that by choice, you start seeing things like that. You see, as you think, your mind starts to shift. That's the lens which you perceive the world in. And then your actions follow suit. You see, that's what really charges up the vibration when your actions and thoughts and the way you speak is in alignment. So you start thinking a certain way. You start speaking a certain way. You start acting a certain way. And guess what you become? You become those things. Especially when you don't want to do it. That's when the shift happens. When you're no longer motivated, that's when the shift happens. When you're no longer inspired, that's when the shift happens. When it gets harder, when your friends quit, whoever inspired you quits, whatever happens, the economy changes, it's not easy anymore. That's when you become the person, when you always do it. What would happen if you just decided, this is who I want to be, and I'm going to be it? What would happen? You would shift. The law of attraction says like attracts like. And I've taken this one step further. You may have mentioned this, but I believe like is like. There actually is no attraction. It's all the same, meaning this is this and it's all one. There is no separation. So like can't attract like is like. So you need to become the like that you desire to be. As you become it, you will receive it. The beautiful thing about this earth experience is nothing manifests immediately. Could you imagine if everything manifested at the quick thought? That one time you have that negative thought, that low energy thought, that hurtful thought, and it just happened immediately, there would be no turning back. You would go down a road so negative, so fast that you couldn't shift. But the gift here is things don't happen immediately. It takes time. You get to really adjust your vibration. It's not just instant. It's all a gift. It's all happening for you. You can choose who you want to be. I understand it's been hard. I understand it's not fair. I understand that people have had it way worse than me. People have had it way better than me. Some people have real demons in their mind that are tough to shake. Some people have been abused and tormented and gone through all these things. They have PFT. They've gone to war. They've gone through these struggles. They've had these terrible parents. They've had terrible schools. They've had terrible communities where they weren't uplifted. But if you're here now, if you're hearing this message, you still have a choice. It's not fair. And it shouldn't be. The harder the choice is to stick with, the more powerful you'll be on the other end. When the choice is hard and you choose it anyway and you make that energetic shift, the you on the other side, that's what's not fair. People will look at you and how'd you become so great? They'll see all the good. They'll see what you could do, who you expanded to be, and they'll just be jealous of that. And you're like, what are you talking about? You don't understand the pain. Why do you think the best art and the best artists are the ones that have suffered the most? Because in those depths of pain, of hurt, of trauma, whatever they've gone through, there's beauty that they found. Now, of course, you don't want to have pain just to have beauty, but you get the beauty on the other end of it. The beauty of you is on the other end of this. It's all a choice. It's not right or wrong. You're not a better person for making a certain choice. You're not a worse person for making a choice. It's all your experience. You get to choose, though. That's how loving this universe is. That's how loving God is. It gave the choice. Without the choice, there is no love. If all there was love, then nobody would truly love. It's just what they were. But if there's the opposite of love, or the lack of love and love, and you can choose to be either one, if you choose love, then everyone knows that you are truly loving. It's not a default scenario. You chose it. You could have chose different. So stop worrying if it's fair. Stop judging yourself. Stop thinking I'll be better, or when this happens, or I'll be happy when. Remove all that. Just make your choices. And know at some point, you chose and never look back. So pick your vibration and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss an episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It's the very last link. If you click that, you will stay up to date with every single episode. I'm not selling anything on the email list. It's literally just an episode update with a description on it. So if you want to keep up to date, give that a follow. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. I'm posting a little bit more on those, so I love the comments. I love the interactions. If you are someone that's leveling up and you're looking to expand in health, wealth, and happiness, I would love to share with you my group, Freedom Fundamentals. I'm partnered with a good friend of mine, Eric McAvoy. He does the real estate stuff on the wealth. I do the mindset stuff on the mind, and you can really shift and become someone that you want to do. So if you've been thinking about getting into real estate, it might be for you. And if you just want to join a community that's looking to grow, looking to expand, I'd love to share information about it. The best way to do it is to reach out to me via Instagram, and I'd be happy to share anything, even if you just want to connect. If you're not interested in a group, you're not interested in coaching, you just want to connect, I appreciate it. I've gotten some really, heartfelt messages recently, and they just mean so much to me. So I thank you for taking the time to do that. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.